Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we have the latest news coming out of that Capcom Showcase, and when was that Nintendo Direct supposed to be? We have those topics and more to cover, but before we get started, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so we can keep you up to date with all the latest gaming news. Now let's get started. First, we had that Capcom Showcase where they featured several games. I'll try to go through these quickly. We had Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, which comes out on June 30th. They highlighted different monsters, showed that the jungle area is now going to be back, and there will be a demo out now for the Switch and Steam. And there are more updates planned for this year and next, and they said all of these updates will be free. Then we got another highlight reel of Capcom Arcade's second stadium, and that's out on July 22nd. And to celebrate this, the original Street Fighter II is going to be available for free within the original Capcom Arcade Stadium up until July 21st. Then they showed Exoprimal. This is that dino shooter, and it's set to release sometime in 2023. Now it looks like you have several different modes here, including player versus player and player versus environment, and then you have different exosuits that you can change to get different abilities. And there'll be a closed network test that you can sign up for at their website, but there's no date given for this test, nor was there any date given for when the sign up starts. And then we have a video segment on Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary saying we're going to get another video sometime in the future. And then the show closed out with a whole bunch of Resident Evil related stuff. First we have RE Village Gold Edition coming out October 28th, and this will include a third-person mode, an update to the Mercenaries mode called Additional Orders with some new playable characters. And then we'll get Shadow of Rose, which is an additional story focused on Ethan's daughter told in a third-person perspective. And then they reminded us that the main story is going to be getting a VR version. And then we have RE-Verse also coming out on October 28th, which is their multiplayer game. And then we get another look at RE4 Remake, and this is again coming out next year on March 24th. Now the footage they showed didn't feature any combat, but it does show that it's still going to be in a third-person perspective. And then they closed out showing RE7, 2, and 3 remakes are going to be getting current-gen upgrades. So these will be getting 4K, higher frame rates, ray tracing, and 3D audio, and the PlayStation version will support the DualShock's haptic feedback. As mentioned before, these are a free upgrade for your Xbox Series systems and PlayStation 5. Now, I almost forgot that they did show footage from Street Fighter VI and the Capcom Fighting Collection, but there really wasn't any new information about either one of these games. So what are your thoughts on this presentation? Did you get a chance to watch it? Was there anything here that really impressed you? Make sure to leave a comment below and let us all know. Next, we had a lot of controversy related to the PlayStation 1 version of the games that was going to be on PlayStation Plus, and whether or not they'd be 60Hz or based off of the 50Hz PAL versions. Well, it looks like Sony did it right. We have this headline here from VGC confirmed Sony's classic PlayStation games on PS Plus are 60Hz in North America. So this is a big relief to those of you who are going to subscribe to this. I know we saw some weirdness with the 50Hz versions trying to be smoothed out to like a 60Hz speed, and there was like this ghosting going on. But it does look like Sony got this right. Now there's also some games that were added into this service that were not previously announced, and one of those was Resident Evil Director's Cut. Now, overall, PlayStation Plus Premium includes over 400 PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games, and there's a whole bunch in this list, so I'm not going to go through every one of them, but some of the highlights are Death Stranding, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, and Returnal. Now overall, there's over 700 games on this service, so I think that's not a bad start for this service, and they will be adding more games in every month. So if this is something that you were hesitant to try out but really wanted it, I'd say go ahead and go for it because it looks like it's a quality service. Next, we have another week go by and another Nintendo Direct rumor. If you remember last week, there was this reviewer who leaked that Neon White was going to have an embargo lifted on June 15th, which led many people to believe that the game would be shadow dropped at a Direct the same day. Also, many of these quote insiders then confirmed that the Nintendo Direct was going to be on the 15th. Well, Neon White was shown and given a release date at Summer Game Fest last week, and now that puts a Direct on the 15th in doubt. Well, right now, here's the latest we have on this with this tweet from Direct Feed Games quoting Go Nintendo. First, the quote from Go Nintendo says, "Rumor, very strong evidence points to Nintendo Direct on June 29th. And then the quote tweet here from Direct Feed Games says the information is accurate. The window of airing is either June 28th or 29th. May depend on the time zone or region location." Now what sparked all this off is during a co-stream of the Xbox Bethesda Games Showcase, a writer for Sony Santa Monica, Aaliyah Pierce, stated pretty emphatically at the end of that co-stream that the Nintendo Direct was coming June 29th and that she didn't get that information from Nintendo, but it was pretty much a sure thing. So is the Direct this week? Is it going to be 2 weeks from now? Are we even going to get one? I guess we'll not really know for sure until Nintendo makes an official announcement. And it looks like we're getting another free trial game for the Nintendo Switch Online. We have this tweet here from Nintendo of America. "Restore your farm to greatness in Stardew Valley, available for Nintendo Switch Online members to try from June 14th, 10 a.m. Pacific through June 20th at basically midnight." You can also purchase the full version of Stardew Valley for 20% off, basically during that same time frame. So this is basically a 1-week trial of the game, and they did say in a following tweet that you would earn 100 platinum points for trying out the trial. Now I know this is a pretty popular game, and I've not tried it out myself, so I'm going to try it at least to get those 100 platinum points. And finally, there's been a lot of criticism over the footage for Sonic Frontiers that we've been seeing coming out over the last couple of weeks. Well, the head of Sonic Team speaks out about this. This headline here from BGC: "Sonic Frontiers won't be delayed as a result of fan feedback, insists Sonic Team's boss." So earlier this month, Delay Sonic Frontiers was trending on Twitter, mostly due to many people's disappointment in what they've seen so far. Well, the head of Sonic Team, Takashi Iizuka, decided to speak with VGC about this. And he doesn't think that people have really seen enough of the game to really get an idea of what this open zone is all about and what the quality of the game is. Well, we have this quote here, and this new game system itself is something that doesn't really exist in any other comparable titles, so we really hope that from here until launch, we can really explain what open zone gameplay is. Now so far, I've not really been impressed with the footage from Sonic Frontiers either. The way the elements like rails just hang in the air and don't pop in until you get closer. Just so many of the elements look out of place, it makes me feel like I'm playing someone's Mario Maker level where they just put elements together that don't seem to fit. But I will reserve my final judgment until the game launches. But I have a feeling that it's going to sell so poorly that it'll end up on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus within 6 months of launch just to try to make up what they lost. And that's all we have for today. Did anything we cover catch your attention? Was there anything at that Capcom Showcase that you're looking forward to? And if you had doubts about PlayStation Plus, have you changed your mind now that you've seen it launch? drop a comment about that or anything else we covered today. I want to thank you for watching and be good.